Hey guys, it's Sam here, and today I wanted to make another video, kind of a add-on video to the video that I made on Saturday, because we have some updates that we didn't have obviously when I made the video Saturday night to now where it is 2 PM on Monday. We've obviously had updates yesterday and today from different sources. So I've kind of realised that in the video on Saturday I didn't actually mention if I was Arne slot in or if I wanted him gone, and kind of what my thoughts were on that. I just kind of mentioned that he was in trouble. I'm definitely still Arne slot in. I still back Arne. I still think he'll turn it around, and I still think that he is going to make a lot of people eat a massive slice of humble pie. So it's going to be fun when that happens. I'm very confident on that. The only thing that does kind of put me a little bit, or question that a little bit, is his kind of lack of willing to change, you know, his stubbornness to keep playing the same way. It's clearly not working at the minute. Look, it worked last year, but last year the thing that Arne Slot was credited for the most was his ability to change styles within games. That Liverpool would have 4 or 5 styles to play in just one game that would make it almost impossible for the opposition to understand how we were going to play. And they couldn't live with it, and it worked so well. It seems like for this season we don't have that, or at least the teams have figured out how to play against us, and Arne Slot needs to adapt and change so that they don't know and they can't beat us, and we become, you know, an invincible force like we did last season. It's still there. That hasn't gone, you know. In 5-6 months, Arne Slot has not just become a terrible manager. He's still a very, very good manager. And I just think that he needs to change more. He needs to change things a little bit more than just keeping the same players playing when clearly they're not performing. You know, his favouritism to certain players is costing us dearly, and it could cost his job if he doesn't start changing things. And unfortunately, at least a lot of people on social media anyway, they've seen enough. They've gone, nope, I'm done. He needs to go. And like I said, I'm not at that stage yet. I think the only place I could be to think that he should go is if we were in the relegation zone. If we drop into the relegation zone, then I think, then yes, I would be, okay, it is time for you to go. But that hasn't happened. Okay, we're not far off. We're only 7 points clear of the relegation zone, so there's a little bit on edge there. But at the same time, we are only like 2 points off the Champions League spots, so it is very, very tight. It's not like we're so far off, but we are so far off the top spot, and that's obviously not going to happen. We're not defending our Premier League title. I think anyone can see that. Anyone can see that that's not happening. But there is still a chance that we put a good run of form together, and that maybe, just maybe, there could be a slim chance, but it's not happening. What we have to focus on now is simply getting top 4. But yeah, moving on to obviously the updates. It is what we kind of expected. Arne Slot still has the full backing of the ownership and the board. They're not thinking about changing manager, and yeah, like Arne Slot's job is still very, very secure at the minute, but Liverpool can't keep losing, and he has until the new year to change the form around, basically. And I did say in the previous video that I thought he had until Christmas. I still think that it's the Christmas to New Year period. I think we play on the 27th. I think if we've still been losing games and then we lose that game, I think he's probably gone. But it's a big sort of next few weeks, especially when we move into the Christmas period, when you've got, you know, Saturday, Wednesday throughout. You know, that's going to be big. You've got a lot of games in a short space of time, a lot of points that can be won. If you win those points, it's looking a lot better. What is crazy to me, that I didn't actually realise until now, or until like yesterday, was we've played 12 games, we've won 6 and lost 6. We haven't drawn a single game. Like, how? It's either we win or we lose. There's no middle ground. We haven't drawn a single game, which is wild to me. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, we could do with a few draws. That at least we'd get a point. You know, if we're not going to win, at least make sure you're taking a point, not another defeat. But anyway, yeah, that was just a crazy thing that I saw. But yeah, Wednesday becomes a really massive game. Obviously, at the minute, the Champions League has been Liverpool's strongest suit. We have only lost once in the Champions League so far. That was to Galatasaray, which you would... It's kind of a frustrating one. But, obviously, you know, there's been a win against Real Madrid, a very comfortable win in Frankfurt. PSV is going to be massive because, again, it's at Anfield, and you need to keep the going fans on your side. You know, right now, the noise is coming from social media. But it's not just the odd few idiots that will always, after just one defeat, the manager needs to go. You know, this is a lot of voices because it's been too many defeats and they've seen enough. And again, like I said in the last video, it's hard to argue with them. You know, again, I'm not on their side. I'm fully up backing Arne Slot, but I understand why people have seen enough. I'm just not one of them. And so the noise is coming from social media. At the minute, the going fans are still on side. you have to keep them on side. If the going fans start bringing signs and start, singing for the manager to be sacked, that's when the problems really, really do occur. And the ownerships start looking at that. Right now, it's just solely on social media, where it's actually okay, because social media has always been a place that isn't the best. But as long as you've got the going fans on your side, you're okay. Right now, they're still on side. But they're gonna lose patience as well if it keeps happening the way it's going. If we keep losing games. You have to win. It's as simple as that. PSV, West Ham, whoever we play after that. There's no room for error, really. Now until the new year, I don't think there's many defeats that Arne Slot can have. If he wants to bring back people on side, and if he still wants to keep the ownership and the going fans on side, there isn't a lot more defeats he can have. And something that is also massively, massively important is I want to. Okay, how am I going to word this? What is massively important is that it can't be it can't be ignored, basically, what happened last season. I get people don't want to look backwards. I get that people say that it's a kind of a loser mentality if you're just focusing on what, has happened previously, and, you look at the now, and now is not great. But it was only 5-6 months ago that Arne Slot was being hailed as the best manager in the world by these fans that have now turned on him. Again, this isn't a stab at them, They have their right as fans to think what they want. I'm just saying, it wasn't that long ago that everyone was hailing him as the best manager in the world, and absolutely the right successor to Jurgen Klopp, and someone that was going to guide Liverpool for many, many years. He hasn't become a bad manager in 5 months. Okay, it's a very difficult situation, and a lot of people, I don't think like hearing it, but when you are in a rut, it's very hard to get out of. It's very, very difficult. We've been through it before. We went through it twice under Jurgen Klopp after we won the league, which is starting to think that maybe people put voodoo shit on us when we win the title, because for some reason the season after we become shit. It happened in 2021, it's happening again in 25-26. I don't get it. There's something fishy going on. But no, it happened in 2021, and then it happened again in the 22-23 season when we finished 5th. We were shit. We were very, very shit. And again, even then, especially the 22-23 season, a lot of people were saying that it was time for Jurgen Klopp to leave. That people, again, it was social media having a massive voice saying, he's finished, it's time to go. And everyone else was like, are you fucking mental? Like, no. It kind of feels the same. Now, again, it's not, because, people were sticking with Jurgen Klopp more because of obviously he had built the club up from literally being horrible to watch to being the best team in the world, winning multiple trophies. That is why a lot more people stuck with Jurgen Klopp. Arne Slot, he's won a league title in his first season. That has to count for something. I know people don't like hearing it, but it does. It has to count for something, and I think that is why the board are still very, very behind him. Because there's proof that he is a good manager. There is proof there that he can win things for Liverpool. And if we can just somehow get out of the rot and get a good run going, including Arne Slot changing things, we'll be alright. Is the main thing. Anyway, that is it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.